Hey Kathy, welcome. We're just getting started. Can I do a sound check with you, Kathy? Can you hear me good? Cool. I'll tell you something you don't know. I haven't shared it publicly. I mean, I don't share where I live with anybody really because of obvious reasons, but you know where I used to live. I moved. So I am a lot further east towards the ocean now. Yeah, it wasn't something I was expecting to have to do. It kind of came up short notice, but um, everything will work out. You know, it is what it is. And now I get to come out there on a leisurely basis instead of having to make that commute every day. Yeah, that's definitely on my list of priorities. I want to come, so we'll plan on that. What's up, everybody? It's J Mac, and welcome to Bigfoot Input Live. It's live. You guys remember that? Little known fact that Frankenstein was actually not the name of the creature with the bolt in his neck, but the doctor that created him was named Frankenstein. Welcome, Brett. Yeah, I think it was called. Oh God, where's Ryan when you need him? I think it was the Frankenstein's creature or something to that effect. That was the name of the what we know was Frankenstein. You know, you always see the green guy with the bolt in his neck and the tuxedo. That's not Frankenstein. That's just the creature that Dr. Frankenstein created. So, Kathy, I was gonna wait till a crowd gathered to talk about this, but I gotta bring it up right now, and I'll talk about it later too. But the latest stuff that you posted, wow. Um, what's the backstory on that? I mean, obviously you're still in the Ocala National Forest. I know that much, but are you in a new area? Hey, Damien, welcome. I gotta tell you, Kathy, between the last one from last week and then just two today, just really incredible stuff. Like, I think you're consistently cranking out more pictures than anyone in the Bigfoot world. I mean, consistently. I know that you have different opinions on what those pictures might even be, which is even further interesting. I kind of stick to the skunk ape theory, even though, you know, I mean, they all look different and I don't know. Every time a picture's taken, they look different, you know. I don't want to get into interdimensional type stuff, but, you know, I know that, like I said, I know you have some beliefs that they could be something else other than a skunk ape, and that, you know, could very well be true. I've seen other pictures that you posted that didn't look like skunk apes at all. But I think a lot of the pictures that you're getting are so, you know, obscured. I mean, they're very elusive creatures. So the pictures that you're getting, you really can just clearly make out faces, and it's hard to say what those faces are. Interested to see that. I think a lot of the people, like, what's great about your group is a lot of people that are, you know, even Bigfoot enthusiasts or skeptics or whatever they are, they always stick to the main road. You know, they always they're always looking at the Patty video or the Gimlin, or, you know, the Independence Day, or, you know, Paul Freeman, whatever. Your video, your pictures are just way off the beaten path, you know? And I think that, to me, like, that's where the truth lies. I myself have been so busy lately, as I said, with the move and doing remodeling work and things like that. I feel like I've fallen behind on my own channel. Like a dormo. I don't know. You have to find a Bigfoot first. But hey, Brown Dwarf, welcome back. It's always nice to see people returning. I guess that means that they're enjoying themselves. So I don't know if anybody had the opportunity to see the latest video. I think one of the big pictures in that video was the. I'm gonna call it a Bigfoot. I don't know exactly. What else to call it, but it was the one that was in the greenish looking hue, kind of looked like some sort of night vision. I'm not an expert on that sort of thing, but Florida Bigfoot was saying that there was many different kinds, and this was sort of just one of them. I thought that was an interesting set of pictures. There was 3 pictures actually. No, brown dwarf. I don't really get into that sort of thing. I'm having a couple drinks right now, but if I was smoking, I'd be coughing and be paranoid and hungry. I just avoid all that. I want to get into a way, and everyone knows I'm still a little new to this, but I want to get into a way where I can actually flash some pictures up on the screen as conversation, so we can speak about this thing as conversationally. Either you saw it or you didn't, and if you didn't, then you don't know what we're talking about, and it would be nice to be able to just reference back to those pictures, but. Oh, the Buddha, yeah. No, that's my Buddha that's flipping off the world. I figure, I figure Sasquatch kind of has that attitude, I like that stature. Yeah, I don't know, Kathy. I'll figure that out one of these days. I'll get something going on where I can do that. But as far as the one in discussion, though, I mean, the arm length was great. I did say that there was no. I said there was no genitalia between the glutes, and that kind of threw me off. But again, like I said, it could have been a female. And if you focus on the right side under the right arm, I think you can start to see a little bit of like a breast. So that would, reinforce the theory that it's a female. Welcome everybody to Bigfoot Input Live. If you're just joining, feel free to speak up. Bring whatever conversation you want to the table. We will talk about it. Does anybody feel that all of the, I'm just going to go ahead and call them UFO because that's what I grew up calling them, I don't know whatever they call them now. All the sightings that are just kind of being freely forthcoming, it just seems a little, I don't want to say overwhelming, but it seems a little suspect that all of a sudden everybody is in line with these UFOs. Like the government's, oh yeah, they're out there, and it just seems like they're handing it to us on a platter now. Whereas it's been so hush-hush for many years. It makes me wonder what they're covering up. Like why are we we're being given this information now when we had to fight for it for so many years. Hey, Florida Bigfoot's in the house. What's up, dude? Welcome. Glad you could join us. Let me go ahead and introduce Florida Bigfoot and Bigfoot World. Um, Billy and Kathy, both Florida skunk ape researchers, both successfully accomplishing that, and both have really impressive footage and experiences. You two honestly should know each other. I know that I've known both of you for a while, but you two should know each other. You two should join each other's groups and be part of it. You're both based mainly on Facebook. I know Florida Bigfoot has a YouTube as well. I think both of you have a YouTube, but it seems like more activity on Facebook. So you guys should join each other's groups. You guys have very, very interesting content in your groups. So. Well, you're welcome, Kathy, but it's all true. So it's not a compliment if it's true, right? Yeah, I know Billy, you've been out in, what, Colorado or something, and you haven't been doing a lot of researching in Florida lately, but if you go on Facebook and you join Kathy's group, you're going to see, like, just today, 2 uploads of some, I think, correct me if I'm wrong, Kathy, but they're video, they're just random video. I know that you take video all the time as you're walking, and then you have people that will go back through and filter and look for look for different things. So today alone, 2 different creatures have been captured on the video that you took. I don't know how long ago it was. Scotsman, eh? Yeah, I'm gonna have to check out this video, Kathy. That sounds fascinating. I'm not sure if I shared this before or not. I think I did, but the place I used to work had a nearby burial ground, burial mound, and basically that sect of Native Americans, the way that they buried their dead was basically put them in a pile. So this mound is basically full of Native American bones. And I worked about, I don't know, maybe a quarter of a mile from there. And you can imagine, what, 300 years ago, what the area would have been like. It would have been, nothing like it is now. And I'll tell you what, I've had numerous, numerous experiences in that building. Well, Billy, they have Bigfoot out there in Colorado, buddy. Just get to work. You gotta get out there, man. Billy, you're in Green Swamp area, right? So I think Kathy, well, you just had that one that came out of the Green Swamp, right? That face, the gaping maw face from like that behind the tree fork. Yeah, I think we're all pretty well surrounding the Green Swamp just from different areas or different directions, I should say. Yeah, Kathy, the black and white face. Oh, okay. Now, I personally have never been to the Green Swamp, but there's that homestead out there that I wanted to go to. Uh, their names elude me right now, but it was like in the late 1800s, I think. Uh, some people had moved out to this homestead in the swamp, and they had hid like $1,500 under some floorboards, and it was their life savings. And like the grandson had gotten word of it, and went out there with a friend and killed them both with an axe, and took the money. Billy, I don't have a Twitter. Are you gonna post that to your Facebook? It's it's not far from right there. Man, I can't remember exactly what town it's next to. It's really like on the what would that be? The northern edge of the green swamp. It's not far into it, and in fact, you can hike down a trail, and it's really not that far, maybe half a mile in, and you'll see the homestead. And there's like a memorial and everything set up on the homestead, so you can go there and take pictures and stuff. If I ever get my life together, I would like to start a second channel um, that deals like primarily with the dark and mysterious true crime and things like that. And that would be one of my first stories. I did not, Kathy. I did not. I feel like I I slack on everything lately. I'm like I don't have time for anything anymore, so I miss everything. Hey, Adventure Monty, welcome, buddy. Milwaukee, huh? Yeah, Florida's a big thing for the skunk ape or swamp ape, however you want to call it. Um, Something's always going on here, and of course, yeah, there's the big conference coming up. Looks like Dr. Meldrum's going to be there. Welcome, Steven. Are you nervous, Kathy? I know you guys are opening for Dr. Meldrum. I saw that. I was like, wow, that's a responsibility, huh? But I mean, with the material that you have, you guys are gonna knock it out of the park. Don't worry. Billy, I'm gonna go check out your Facebook after this. I want to see this picture. I'm interested. I think everybody's going to be at that Florida one, right? I mean, like, what, Blackburn's going to be there. Um, there's a lot of names I recognize on there. I'm not sure who all locally is going to show up, but should be cool. I got to be straight about it. Billy, I have never been the guy to pitch a tent in the middle of the woods and just go to sleep there, and just just enjoy myself. I don't think I could imagine. I mean, I do a lot. We do nature walking and stuff like that, but just to be out there overnight, man, I don't know. That's, you gotta have them screwed on tight to do that. Did you really, Kathy? Yeah, I don't know, man. I just that's scary. That's not so bad, I guess, in the back of a truck, but still, you're exposed. You know, it's like if you had a camper, or if your truck was decked out like a camper or something, maybe. But just to traipse out in the middle of the woods with a tent, I don't know, man. So, what is everybody's opinion on tree structures, tree breaks, tree X's? What are they signifying? I guess that's true. Brown dwarf. I guess that's true. So Adventure Monty brings up a good point, you know, or an interesting point. It says, you know, he wants to think that it's art. Well, it could be, because there's a lot of theories and no one really knows exactly. I feel like it could be directional. They could be giving signs to other tribes of Sasquatch. It could be defensive, telling other tribes, hey, this is my territory, stay out. Because I would imagine they're pretty territorial type creatures, you know. Art is an interesting look at things, you know. But I know that, like, if you ever spend any time in, like, certain Native American territories, you'll see trees that are bent over. They're still alive, but they're bent over and then they grow up. They did this on purpose. They would lash the tree to the ground when it was small, and they would let it grow, and that would signify that there was water nearby to any other tribesman. Yeah, Billy, making that much noise, you gotta imagine nothing's really coming your, you know, in your area. I don't suppose you're going to be there this year, right, Billy? You'll still be in Colorado. You know, to anybody that says that they're not made by Bigfoot or Sasquatch, I would just have to ask, well, who's making them? I mean, you mean to tell me that humans all over the United States, the Northern America, are making the same types of tree structures? Is there some huge group of hoaxers that are just making the exact same type of structures? These teepee structures, the broken trees, that, you know, come on, man. I mean, eventually we have to admit, right, that there is a creature that's doing this, and it's a similar-minded type of creature that is making them. Yeah, well, Kathy, Bigfoot World, if everyone doesn't know her as Kathy by now, that was that was when we first met. You had taken the picture of that tree structure, and when you got home and zoomed in on it, you found the, uh, I'm going to say it was juvenile Sasquatch, a juvenile skunk ape, in the tree structure. And that was how we originally met, was on Facebook. That was one of the most impressive pictures I've ever seen, and still is. And if anyone has not seen that, please go to the Bigfoot World Facebook, and you'll see it on there. Yeah, Adventure Monty. If you have not been to the Bigfoot World Facebook, please go check that out. You'll see some really authentic skunk ape pictures. It's a great, great Facebook group to be a part of. And I agree with you. You know, the complexity of the structure. It's like if you have a bent over tree, that could mean anything. But then you have these very big, elaborate, teepee type structures, and I don't know what they mean, but I mean, I have to just feel that that's them that's creating them. So, Billy, that brings up a good point too, and that's, did we learn this type of behavior from the Sasquatch, or did they learn it from us? And I've said this about ponytails, about maybe creating fire, about teepee structures. This is all Native American behavior. Yeah, I think that should be interesting. I've never seen Dr. Meldrum in person, so I don't know what exactly he'll have to say, but that should be pretty cool. Kathy, do you know is Dave Shelley going to be there? I know he's having his own thing in March, which I cannot attend. I think it's like tomorrow. I can't make it, but I wonder if he's going to make it to the conference. That's cool, Billy. Yeah, there's going to be an encounters section during this next conference. I mean, I don't know. I have a couple mild experiences. I'm not sure. I guess it'll depend on who's sharing what, whether I decide to share my own. Yeah, Monty, I've been there twice actually, and it's interesting. As a Bigfoot lover, it's fun, but I will tell you that most of the stuff that they have there is recreated and fake. And I think what really kind of, hurt my feelings when I went there is that they're using pictures that are like known hoaxes. I mean, Mark Anders, like the Mark Anders suit is one of the pictures that they use on their wall. And I'm like, man, I don't know who's in charge of this stuff. They had a replica of the scalp and hand from Nepal, and they had it in like a cooler and stuff, like it was temperature controlled. I'm like, so everybody knows that is in Nepal. It's not here. So I think if you go in there with just fun in mind, and you want to, they have a video you can sit down and watch. They look at a movie theater. You can buy some souvenirs. You can walk through. It's fun. Yeah, exactly. Touristy. And I'm not a tourist. I still had fun there. Don't get me wrong. Like the first time going in there, I was like a kid in a candy store. Second time, I was like, oh yeah, like I'm not sure why I came a second time. So I think if you're driving by Cherry Log, Georgia, you should totally stop and go buy yourself, a car sticker or something. It's fun. I'm wanting to get down to, I can never remember the name of the city, but it's down near Naples in Florida. And it's the Skunk Ape headquarters ran by Dave Shelley. And from what I understand, they make their own beer now. It's like a Skunk Ape lager. And apparently you can get it at like Publix down there. And I'm dying to get down that way to grab some of it to add to my collection. I have to count. I have no idea how many Bigfoot beers I have now, but I must have, over 20, 25. Andy and Scar, Bigfoot Territory Investigators. Well, hello. I recognize that name. Welcome. I don't know, Monty. It's a lager, so I'm not sure if they were going for hoppiness, but if you really want something hoppy, try Sierra Nevada Bigfoot. It's a barley wine, and wow, it's super hoppy. I love Bigfoot and cryptids and anything paranormal, but if y'all ever want to talk about beer, let me know. I'm your guy. Actually, it was super exciting. It was my birthday's on Christmas. And Q, my partner in crime, somehow got hold of a can from Vermont of a beer called Heady Topper. And it's arguably the best IPA, ever made, whatever. And they're impossible to get. And I just had it recently. It was really impressive. You know what, Monty? I could see myself coming to Milwaukee, I guess, at some point, maybe just to look around, and I couldn't imagine going there without going on some sort of Jeffrey Dahmer tour, like to the clubs that he went to. I know that his apartment is destroyed; it's no longer there, but I would just have to. It would, yeah, that kind of thing fascinates me. Yeah, Kathy, send that. You can send that through the Bigfoot Input DMs, or you can email it at bigfootinput@gmail.com. By the way, if anybody has anything that they think that I should see, please, bigfootinput@gmail.com. Email it to me. I love getting pictures, whatever you guys want to do. We'll incorporate them into our upcoming videos. In fact, we have so many pictures to go through. We actually, we created an episode that we forgot about. And actually, I think Monty was the one that pointed it out. He was saying, like, where is episode 12? You've jumped from 11 to 13 or whatever, and he's right. We had made an episode that we forgot about, so I had to renumber the episodes. So what I'm calling 14 is actually 13. It's crazy. Yeah, Billy. I was a little offended myself. I saw some pictures in there that I knew were BS, and then like I said, the Mark Andrews suit was on the wall, and I was like, you've got to be kidding me, But again, I feel that it's a little touristy, it's not a real research center, it's one of those things for fun. And I think it was like $8, and I had to get a Bigfoot sticker while I was in there, So I didn't regret going the first time. The second time, I think I was kind of like, oh yeah, I probably should have not gone here again, but. The email is bigfootinput@gmail.com. No, Monty, it just things have been so hectic lately. I made an episode ahead of time just to be, a little bit on the stick. I was like, cool, and then I forgot which number it was, and then yesterday I made a new episode and I skipped right by it. So. I haven't made anything so great that YouTube felt the need to squash it yet. Although I got nailed for the Paul Freeman footage. Apparently his son Michael Freeman owns copyrights to that, so so my video is making money for Michael Freeman. You're welcome. And then I got nailed on some silly mermaid video that I made months ago. I got nailed from Discovery on that one. Apparently it was their footage, and so that I took that down because it was worthless anyway. But yeah, Billy, I'm gonna buy a 6-pack and keep one and drink the other 5. So here's the thing, Monty, with the dead creatures, okay? YouTube will not allow anything post-mortem. If you put up anything like that, they're going to nail you. And I don't want to put my channel in any kind of jeopardy, any kind of trouble. I enjoy it too much. So what I did was I created a Patreon to where you can put anything up there. As long, they have their own set of rules, but it's not as strict. To join the Patreon, it's the absolute minimum that I could charge is $1 a month. It's like 99 cents per month. It really isn't much, but you have to charge something to get on Patreon, so that's That's what we have to charge. So if you want to go to patreon.com/Bigfoot Input, you can get on there. You can do $1 a month, and it gives you access to a couple of videos that we can't post on YouTube, and we have a couple more coming up. I want to keep nurturing that Patreon content, but it's not much. I'm going to warn you. There's only a couple of videos up there. That's not our main focus. We want to focus on the free content here on YouTube. So. Yeah, Billy, that's Sierra Nevada. That'll choke you a little bit. I mean, you know what's even worse though, is that have you tried the Skunk Ape Double IPA from Florida Brewing, dude? Monty, you are too kind, sir. Too kind. Thank you. I appreciate you. We feel good. Thank you so much. Yeah, you know what, Monty? It's okay. I mean, there really isn't much content up there. I wish I had a better way of putting those videos out to the world that I want to do, because we eventually want to do a podcast too. But the podcast that we want to do is about it's about cryptids, but it's a very adult-sided conversation about cryptids. And I can't have it on YouTube, so Patreon really only gives me, that's my only out right now. Yes, he was, Monty, although I was not entirely aware that was the Minnesota Iceman at the time that I made the video. So, yes, he was in there. And I believe, like in the second video, I believe I have follow-up pictures. I just have not got around to making that video yet. It's funny, actually, I wasn't really hip on the subject. I mean, I know, there's a lot of stuff that goes on in the cryptid world, and I should be on top of most of it, but that was something I was not familiar with. Just like everyone is pointing out now that I was mistaken, I misspoke. I didn't misspeak. I was wrong. The tar pits that the Dogman things were found in, apparently, they're in Los Angeles. I had no idea. I guess this is just the subject that just passed over me at some point. When it said L.A., I thought it was in Louisiana. I'm like, no, it's in Los Angeles apparently. So I'm okay to admit that I didn't know that. So. Excuse me. Take a very small pause for the cause and get another beer. Yeah, so Billy, you're absolutely right. They found like a saber-toothed tiger and stuff in there. I don't know, man. I guess the whole thing just went over my head. I was not familiar. All right, Kathy, I'll check that email out when I get out of here. I will. I will. Yeah, I think that's the craziest part of Billy's story is that leaving these like sandwiches and stuff in these Ziploc bags, and the bags are being opened. You know, they're not being ripped apart. They're not being, chewed into. They're just being opened. Yeah, Bigfoot, they're eco-friendly, right? There's no point in tearing those bags apart. They can reuse them. Maybe they figure if they leave the bag intact, they'll get another tuna sandwich. I'm sure you guys are familiar with Scott Carpenter. Um, I'm not going to get into a debate about whether he's legit or crazy or whatever, but he was part of the Survivor Man Bigfoot uh, series, which was very cool. If you haven't seen it, man, you gotta catch up on that. It's very cool. Um, Scott Carpenter's in it, Todd Standing's in it. There's just Lyle Blackburn, different guys, and one of the things that they were doing was gifting. But they were gifting things like marbles, and colored rocks, things that couldn't really be. I don't want to say couldn't be lifted, but that didn't attract other creatures like bears and raccoons and things like that. Possums. It wasn't food, so they were coming back and finding that the marbles and the rocks weren't being taken away; they were just being reshaped into different shapes, which is really interesting, right? And they were leaving he was leaving like crosses made out of sticks, he would come back and they would be turned upside down, or like different, just things were just messed with. It's a very interesting series. Yeah, Lettuce Lake Park. There was like 2 different sets of footage that came out of that park in Tampa. Good footage too. I think that was the one where the skunk ape was stomping like a snake, and then there was a fake one too where the head was coming out of the water. That was a hoax. We were wanting to get down to Myakka last year, but then Ian kind of ruined all of that, so we can't get down there. They know it's there, bro. They can see the lights. I mean, they can. I don't know if they can see it, they can feel it, but yeah. I mean, people talk about all the time, like, why haven't they been caught on a game trail cam? It's because they know that the cameras are there. They say that bears can smell the lithium in the batteries, and that's one of the reasons they go after the cameras. I don't know why they go after it, but same thing with like if you ever see these campers that are destroyed by a bear, they just rip open the refrigerators, and it's not because of the food that's inside, it's because they can smell the formaldehyde in the insulation inside the refrigerator. So I think I've brought this up a couple times in previous episodes, but has anybody ever dug back on our channel and went to the the Bigfoot and Booze section. We only did 2 episodes because they were a complete failure. But the second episode happened right there in Paisley, Florida. It was just right off of 42, right in our backyards. And the story is phenomenal. Now, I'm not going to say that I told it in a phenomenal fashion, but I did do a recording where I told the story. It's a story based off of the BFRA website. And it's just an incredible story about one guy's encounter with a skunk ape right there in Deer Haven in Paisley, Florida. Yeah, Billy, I'm a big fan of Stroud. I love that guy. I love how he approaches the subject. He's very objective. And he has his own experiences that he'll tell if you dig deep enough and find his footage. He has some really cool experiences that he doesn't dive into them during that Bigfoot series, but he's had some experiences. Hey, you're good, dude. You know, seriously, say whatever you want. It's an open forum. Yeah, Kathy, Paisley, it's like right there between DeLand and Altoona, and it's a really incredible story. So I encourage anybody to check that out. Yeah, I agree, Monty. You know what? The very first time I ever learned that Stroud had experiences with Bigfoot was on the Joe Rogan experience before it was mainstream. Like, Joe Rogan was like really underground, but they were just sitting around like drinking some Guinness, like telling stories. And he told a story about hearing whoops in Alaska. And he joked, he said, you know, Alaska, land of the apes. You know, obviously, we don't have an ape species in Alaska that we know about, but if you go back and you look at like, what is Port Chatham, Portlock, Alaska, I mean, that right there is a fascinating story of an entire town that was driven out of an area because of the amount of human deaths that happened because of this creature that lived in the woods. Yeah, Billy, I mean, get on YouTube, man. Look up Stroud, Joe Rogan. You'll find like it's like this weird black and white footage. It's very old footage. It was well before Joe Rogan actually had a podcast, and it's a cool story. You know, seeing Stroud just chill out and talk about these stories. You know, and then Joe Rogan was a Bigfoot believer for a long time, and then he ended up flipping his whole script at some point, and now he just kind of like makes fun of our community and himself for believing in it, and just, I don't know. I like the guy, but I kind of lost some respect for him at that point. I felt like he was giving in to the cool kids who were telling him that Bigfoot was a hoax. You know, like, what's the matter with you? Why are you believing in that sort of thing? And I think that's what happened. I think that he was just getting too much flack for it, you know. Yeah, he was very much on the positive side for a while. And then all of a sudden, and he does this, and I respect the fact that he does this. He will change his opinion on something and not be afraid to say, well, I used to believe this, but now I believe this. And that's cool. I get that. But, you know, I think that he's had enough experiences where he should have stuck to his guns and, you know, continued to believe what he believed, but for whatever reason, he changed his opinion. I'm a big fan of Stroud. I always have been. I love his, like, I've watched him like since the pilot of Survivor Man. You know, I think he's just great. And I wish his show was, I shouldn't say more successful, but I wish it was, yeah, I wish there was more episodes of it. Like, I wish he had done a little more with it, but I know that, you know, he did what he could do, and it was a very enjoyable series while it lasted. Yeah, Monty, I kind of did too. You know, honestly, I mean, I still like the guy. I think he's very intelligent. I like all the research that he does into subjects, but there was something weird underlying about the Bigfoot subject with him. And I want to say it had something to do with Brendan Schwab. Now, I could be wrong, but there was some sort of camaraderie between the two of them about mocking the belief at all. And when I watched that, I was like, oh, okay, so you just kind of changed your opinion to be part of the cool crowd, you know. I'd like to think he's better than that, but it doesn't seem so. Oh, you know what? I'm glad you brought that up, Billy. I think Ron Moorhead is going to be at that conference in Ocala. Like, he's somewhere near the bottom of the speakers there. Like, that should be interesting. Could you imagine sitting in the middle of those vocals? That amazes me that they didn't, like, send a posse out to go kill this creature. That they just, you know, moved. Billy, I bet he got laughed at too much. I bet that, you know, he's kind of a big figure, you know, and I bet that he got poked fun of just a little too much, and he just didn't stand on his morals and instead decided to flip the script and, you know, go a different direction. You know, I couldn't tell you, Monty, whether he saw Todd Standing's videos or not. I mean, I have numerous times. Unfortunately, Todd Standing is written off in my book. I'm not saying that he hasn't had any legitimate experiences, but I am saying that he tried to fake too much to make himself, to make himself seem legitimate. When he probably didn't have to do that, but he did. And now, unfortunately, you don't know what the hell is truth and what's lies, and it's a shame. Okay, Kathy. Like I said, I'm going to check out that footage as soon as I get off of here. I'm curious. There, Growls. He was so entertaining. Like because he kind of came out. I don't want to say he came out first, but he definitely broke out first. And he was very entertaining. I mean, he's this English guy and he's a paratrooper and blah blah blah. But the truth of it is, he just made a good TV show. Les Stroud was out there actually surviving. I mean, Bear Grylls will tell you that it's okay to drink liquid from elephant dung. Some of the stuff that he has you doing will get you killed. And like all the mountain climbing and stuff that he does, it's ridiculous. Well, I think Brendan Schwab is like the cool jock, that everybody wants to be like, so he had to fall into that clique. Alright guys, I'm going to excuse myself for just a second. Actually, just a couple minutes, but I'll be right back. Alright, you're still with me. So, Monty, actually that wasn't Florida, that was Mississippi. I think you'll find that video, or at least part of it, on our top 10 greatest Bigfoot videos of all time. I can't remember where I ranked it at the moment. I want to say I ranked it around 5. No, Billy, I've never heard that story before. Yeah, so the Myakka skunk ape pictures, those are legit. Those were actually taken in Sarasota. Um, there was 2 pictures, and that woman, she took the pictures because she caught him stealing, I believe it was apples, off of her front porch, and she moved away from that area and never came back. No one's ever heard from her again. Really, Billy? You know, I watched that entire series. I don't remember that. Yeah, but then again, it's always it's good enough to watch that again. You know, so I could watch it a second time. I might do that. Yeah, Stacy Brown has some cool footage. I actually had a chance to talk to him a while back. He has the heat stamp footage. You know what's funny about those pictures though? You want to talk about scary? So primates have 2 different ways of showing their teeth. They will show their teeth clenched together where they raise their gums, and it's almost their way of smiling. It's kind of a submissive showing of, lack of aggression. If they have their mouth open to where they're showing their fangs or their teeth and they're kind of snarling, then that's aggression. The way that primate, I was just going to say skunk ape, in those pictures was showing its teeth was a lack of aggression. He was showing that woman that, hey, you caught me, I'm leaving, sorry, he didn't want any trouble. If you dig far back enough on our channel, you'll find another video from Myakka. And it's a pretty impressive hulking type creature. You can only really see the shadow as it moves, but it's pretty impressive, and it was from the Myakka State Park. Well, that's true. It's like if that skunk ape really wanted to cause an issue, I mean, there wouldn't have been a door, big enough to hold it back. He could have ripped that house apart and that woman and everything else. But that wasn't his intention, And I get it. I mean, if you have never seen this creature before and all of a sudden it just shows up on your doorstep, it's pretty friggin' scary, I'll share this with you guys. The dream of the channel is, and this is the dream, so, cut me some slack, but if this ever got big enough to financially be something sustainable. I would love to have an RV that would be equipped with the equipment that you would need to, when I say hunt, I mean locate a Bigfoot. And when there was reports that would come throughout the country, we would be able to just hop in our RV and go to those areas and do the research, do the recon, do the hair DNA samples, and that sort of stuff. You know, that's the dream of the channel. That would be cool. Monty, what a cool question. Let me think about this for just a second. If I can only show one picture, not a video, but a picture. I'm not just saying this because Kathy is in the room, okay? But I will say that I think one of the most impressive pictures I've ever seen of an actual skunk ape taken by someone that I know I can trust is Kathy's original aim to frame skunk ape picture. I don't have a way of showing it to you, but if you go to the Bigfoot World Facebook, it's their cover photo. And this is a picture that was taken, she was taking a picture of a structure, and when she got home she zoomed in on the picture and found a skunk ape in the picture. And it's like a skunk ape. It looks, to me it looks like it has a ponytail. I could be wrong, but I just think that there's a lot of pictures out in the world that are questionable, and you know, they could, you know, you talk about still frames. I mean, you could take still frames from anything. It could be from Independence Day, it could be from the Freeman footage, it could be Patterson Gimlin, you know, whatever. But I think that particular picture is very impressive, and I would go with that picture as my lead off to anyone that is curious about a skunk ape. And say, well, this is taken in my backyard, and it comes straight from the Ocala National Forest from a local. To me, that adds a lot of credibility to the picture. Yeah, Billy, I did see that video of all the monkeys. There's a lot of monkeys along the rivers in Florida. People don't really know that, but it's true. Yeah, Monty, it's totally worth it. Like I said, go join that group. You will find pictures that you have never seen before. And a lot of impressive stuff, a lot of impressive content. You know, we've done a lot of, like, we don't do a lot of kayaking, and I think that's probably why. We do a lot of boating on the river, like pontoon style boating, you know, on the St. Johns River. We don't get into those little nooks and crannies, and I'm pretty sure that's where the monkeys live. I've never actually seen a monkey from a boat, but again, I think it's those little like narrow cavities that you go down. That's where you're gonna find the little monkeys. Yeah, that Stacey Brown footage is cool. I heard he's making a movie, um, although I'm not sure where it is as far as production goes, but I would check it out. I didn't see him being listed as at the conference. I'm not sure why. He might be there, but I didn't see him listed as a speaker. Okay, cool. Yeah, exactly. I mean, you can look at any picture and you can make your determination whether it's fake or real. But when you actually know the person that took it, that takes it to a whole other level, you know? Like Florida Bigfoot has, Billy has a couple that I've seen. And, okay, they're not the clearest pictures I've ever seen in my life, but the point is, when you know the person that took it, it changes the, the aspect of the picture. You know, you're like, okay, well this person is legit, and I know that. So this picture, it can only be one thing, and that's how I feel about Kathy's picture. Is like, well, there's multiple pictures, but the one in particular is that this could be anything if you want it to be, but when you know the person that took it, then that narrows the space. Like it narrows what it could be. It's not a hoax. It's not a guy in a suit. It's not a bear. It's not all these things. So it has to be this one thing. There's been a couple times, Kathy, I've gotten hold of your videos and was able to distinguish that there was a black figure on the side of a tree 1 second and then it was gone the next. So to me, obviously, you're videoing something, you can tell that there's something moving there, and bears don't hide like that. There's just no way. They don't do that sort of thing. So. Yeah, Florida black bears, they don't want any smoke at all. They're pretty scared, honestly. how am I gonna find this video? Just curious. Now we're cutting into my bedtime. Project. Isn't that the Genome Project? That was out of Texas. I mean, that was some pretty impressive. There was some pretty impressive pictures. Actually, there was video too. Alex, when I get out of this live feed, I'll step over your YouTube. I'll check it out. Billy, am I correct? Is that the Genome Project, the one where they caught the video, the pictures of the creature with the fangs? They were trying to prove its DNA or something. I don't think that wasn't from Florida though. I think that was from Texas. Alex, were you walking through the woods at 11 p.m. in the middle of nowhere? I never heard a good story about a dog man. Every story about a dog man just kind of makes them out to be real assholes, you know? Wow, it is raining here, guys. I don't know if you can hear that or not. Hopefully all those bikers are in bed for the night. Yeah, I've definitely heard that story. If anybody caught the last video, I posted those pictures of the, what do they call those, the labret, the tar pits. If those pictures are legit, that might be the most compelling evidence of dogman that I've ever seen. Because frankly, I've never seen anything that made me feel one way or the other about dogman. Hey, Snuffy Dyer's here. Welcome, buddy. I don't know if you guys caught the photo that I posted recently on the community page. Plus, it was part of the last video. Snuffy is the author of that photo. Very interesting photo. Very interesting. Welcome, Tennessee, Kentucky Bigfoot. See, this is the part of the video where it'd be cool, the live feed, where I can, if I could actually show a picture. Snuffy had taken a picture of something, and it was very cool. I had to put it in our last video, but I still don't know exactly what it was. And just curious, Snuffy, do you have any insight on what you think that creature might have been? Monty, that's a great question. I mean, it sucks. This AI stuff that people are fooling around with now. I originally got fooled with that whole Alfred Isaac, uh, the whole thing where the guy supposedly found some lost civilization. I had to come back on YouTube and make an apology video and tell everyone that I was wrong, that it was just AI, So yeah, these AI pictures are getting better and better. I think what we have to do is just learn the language. We have to understand that these pictures do exist and that it's up to us to suss them out. And all we can do is learn as we go. Right. I mean, if they're getting a picture from 5 feet away, then we have to ask why. But they all look a little cartoonish, and let's just be honest. I mean, they do. They look silly. So I think we can separate the two. Hmm. Yeah, see, I told you, Billy. It's a good picture. If anybody hasn't checked out Florida Bigfoot and Bigfoot World, please go to the Facebook pages of each of them and check those pages out. They're awesome. All right, you guys, we've been going for about 2 hours now, and I want to thank everybody for showing up tonight. And we do this every other Friday. I can't do it every Friday, but every other Friday night about 8:30, and I post right before we do it. I want you guys to continue joining me. I always have a great time with everybody. You guys bring a lot of great conversation to the table. But I'm going to shut it down for the night. Like I said, about 2 hours long now. And Monty, I appreciate you, and Billy and Kathy, and everybody else that was willing to join us tonight. Please join us every other week. And go check out, yes, Snuffy, thank you, buddy. Thanks for coming in. And please check out Bigfoot World and Florida Bigfoot on Facebook. Also, Bigfoot Input is on Facebook. You know, let's get everybody connected, everyone together. That's really what this is all about. Yeah, and Billy, thanks for coming by, dude. Really, I really appreciate that. Kathy, I will check my email. Promise. Alright. I'm going to go ahead and say goodnight, everybody. This is J Mac, and I'm out.